What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Jack, and I'm back with another episode of A Daily Dose. Today, we're going to be talking about hypergamy, and I want to give you my perspective on it. Before we get into it, I want to give credit to the original creator, which is the irrational male himself, also known as Rollo Tomasi. All right. He's known as one of the godfathers. And in this manosphere space, or manosphere adjacent, right? If you want to watch the original video without my commentary, it'll be pinned in the first comment below. Now, without further ado, let's just get into it.
So I want to I'm going to rattle off a few of these right now because I think a lot of people kind of need a remedial lesson in hypergamy. Once again, the problem that I have right now, there's really two problems. Okay, first of all, is like these guys who are like sort of, for lack of a better term, I'm just going to say they're black pill. Although I think they get confused by other people as being sort of quote unquote red pill. This is what those red pill guys say. No, we don't.
Quickly, I want to jump in there. I see this a lot. A lot of people there are several pills. I consider myself to be clear. To me, that's like a mixture of blue and red. Uh, I wouldn't say black. There are some things that the black pillars, I get it. There's just some, and we're gonna get into it. I don't want to dive too much into it, but I agree. There needs to be a distinction between red, blue, clear, and black because everything gets jumbled up into one thing. And there are different principles in every one of them. But let's get right back into it.
Um, the red pill tends to get strawmanned, I guess, into being something that's really not.
Hmm.
Um, because it fits an implicit bias, it fits an explicit bias, really. So you've got guys in who are just simply anti red pill no matter what, and they will try to disprove it with like Evo Psych or whatever else. Or all these guys just think that anything that's you know if they stub their toe, it must have been hypergamy, right?
And he's making a analogy, but he's right. I agree with him. A lot of guys, they choose to ignore it for some reason. They just don't want to acknowledge it. And again, there is a reason why. It's just a big part of accepting the fact that you are this and you can't do anything to change it. And that's more black pill stuff.
Right. If they run out of gas on a freeway, it's hypergamy, right? No, that's not, and you're being ridiculous about that. But that's one aspect of it. The other thing is is being so litigious about hypergamy, only meaning that it has to do with marriage, and that goes back to making marriage the litmus test and the benchmark for everything. And you'll see that this is the thing that gets me. And I'm not anti-marriage. I've been married for 28 years. Let's clear the air here before before I say anything else. All right, I'm not anti-marriage. I'm just anti the way we do it now.
Right. And I agree with you. I'm not anti-marriage. I think it's a great thing to have that structure. It's more beneficial to the kids, but the relationship aspect has to be there between the man and the woman, right? And a lot of people assume just because you acknowledge the negativities with things, then you're anti that thing, right? Everybody needs money, right? That doesn't mean that I have to go rob a bank to get money, right? There are multiple ways to get money, and that doesn't make me anti money just because I acknowledge the fact that there are people who do nefarious things to get money. There are also people who do good things to get money.
So, with that said, Thing is whenever we're doing studies about like whether it's mate switching hypothesis, you have to have a fucking mate to switch in the first place, ergo married or at least in a relationship. Got it? That's the starting point. That's the litmus test. That is not the metric for a sexual strategy. It only is if you subscribe to this idea that you're dating with intent and you're going to save the fucking Western culture. That is no way to look at the evolution of intersexual dynamics. It's no way to look at the evolution of mating strategies or sexual strategies, in innate or socially learned, whatever. It's no way to really look at those things. Why are, like, for instance, when we talk about assortative mating, it always ends with one thing. The only goal is to get married. That's all it is. Or it end up in a monogamous pairing. That's what all it's about. Well, men and women who are alike, they tend to find each other. No, it could be that people who found each other for completely different fucking criteria become more alike once they get into that state. That's why I say you're only focusing on the beta buck side of hypergamy. And that's because that sounds good. That's what is flattering to female nature. As I've said before on this show, when you ask women what they're looking for in a guy, it's always what they're attracted to, what long-term qualities in that guy, what guy best fits my long-term security goals. He's got to be funny, provisioning, protection, and parental investment. He's got to want kids. He's got to be good with his mom. He's got to come from a good family. He's got to be educated. He has to be more intelligent than me. He has to have gone to a good school. He has to make this amount of money. He has to have, he has to like puppy dogs, rainbows, and Disneyland, right? He has to have all of these things. And so they will focus on those because those sound right. That sounds good.
And let me jump in here, Rolo. I got it. Yeah. So, and that would be what he says is the beta buck side, right? But there's another side where, and he calls it the alpha fucks, right? That side overrides a lot of the beta buck side, right? So the education, all that goes out the window. If you're on the beta buck side and you were intelligent enough to make a lot of money or make enough money to sustain a great lifestyle and tack on a wife, tack on a couple of kids, then the beta buck side, all those other things as far as education, that doesn't really matter anymore, because the alpha fuck side is, are you attractive, right? Do you dress well? Do you smell good? What do you drive, right? Can you handle them in the bedroom? Can you handle your business in the bedroom?
they're not looking. I need a guy with fucking 23-inch arms and he's got to have a fucking 10-inch. She's not going to say that.
And I forgot, the fitness part is huge. I don't care what they say, right? And at some point, I will reveal myself on screen, but trust me, I work out daily, and the way that people treat you, both men and women, and I'm talking about children to old people, I'm talking about a 5-year-old recognizes the physique, right? They look at you a little differently. They feel safer with you, as well as older people, 70, 80. Everybody's reception becomes warmer.
Because those are aspects of the alpha fucks side of hypergamy, which is just as equally important as the beta buck side. But if we ask guys who are in the ivory tower and the fucking gatekeepers of evolutionary psychology, they're only going to focus on the more flattering aspects of hypergamy And that is the beta buck side. So what you get is you get guys like Jordan Peterson, you get Alex from Date Psych, you get you get Dr. David Buss, prime example of this. Look at his shit. The dude rarely, if ever, confronts the alpha fuck side of things, because if he does, that's he's losing readers, he's losing clicks, he's losing clout, he's losing eyes on the screen.
Agreed. This is a great point, and I kind of want to make a distinction myself because I noticed that yeah, these guys that are in higher positions of society with the female predominantly female audience, there are certain things that they just cannot say, as well as married men, right? And that's why I do respect Rolo for having this show because he's a married man. And if your wife doesn't respect you and you're talking like this, you have this type of ideology or mindset, she's definitely gonna leave you, right? It's just not gonna work. But these guys, they can't say certain things because they'll lose sponsorships, right? They'll lose money and they'll lose fans, basically, right? So they'll sacrifice the men because if you told the men that, hey, you have to be jacked, you have to have money, you got to be able to slang that thing, you got to be somewhat tall, you have to be attractive, you have to be a lot of things to get genuine desire in a marriage in order for you to maintain and raise your family. Now, you can just have the money and be fat and, not be attractive, be short and all that stuff, and have all the money. She'll still be in a relationship with you. But 9 times out of 10, she's either going to be cheating on you in that relationship and or towards the end of the relationship when she's put in enough time, she's going to take you to the divorce court and grape you. That's how that thing goes. So that's why they don't even touch that side because it's so discouraging. This is a genetic thing, and it truly is a black pill. Look at the guy Cavicular, right? He is delivering the black pill on a dare I say global scale. I don't know what his reach is, but he's blackpilling people because you have to have these things, and some guys you're just not born with it. Some of this stuff you're just born with, and there is nothing you can do to really change it. And it's not flattering because you can't have a society that functions properly where the men just give up. When they just look at life, well, it's nothing I can do, so let me just give up and live in my mom's basement and eat Cheetos all day, drink alcohol, smoke weed. You can't have it. So this is why they have to make the manosphere look like a bunch of criminals and crooks and they're just telling the unfiltered truth. Another person, honorable mention, is Coach Greg Adams. This is why they strongly dislike him because he's delivering the same. He doesn't sugarcoat anything. You're gonna get the unfiltered truth, and you're not gonna like it. Medicine tastes nasty,
It's not flattering to
but it's
female
good for
nature
you.
to be called out for the fact that they like guys who are 6 feet tall, that have a big, that have fucking V taper, that have a six pack abs, that have like bowling ball shoulders, right? That kind of shit. They don't talk about that, even though it is just as. And again, I don't think it's shallow or or superficial or anything to say that women are attracted and aroused by guys who are hot fucking guys.
And I'll piggyback on that. There's nothing wrong with them liking what they like. However, when you want to get that guy, you have to understand what comes with it. Because once a man has to go through that by himself, and it's usually by yourself, unless you have a well-off father who is not blue pilled. You're gonna be going through that. You're gonna be traveling that road by yourself, and it's not gonna be a short road. Just getting the muscle alone is gonna take a lot of time. You know, you have to work out for basically forever, right? You have to. That's why they say gym is life. If you ever heard gym is life, yes, gym is life. It's not an easy thing, right? You have to incorporate it into your everyday life. You have to figure that out, how to eat, what things to eat, how to train, how to recover, right? How to still enjoy your life and not just be uh just a gym bro. It's not an easy thing to accomplish, and a lot of the times when the women just want to meet you at the finish line. They're not there for the hard times. And I get it. They don't have a lot of time to really find the best mate that they can. They don't have a lot of time. They have about eh, I'm being generous when I say 10 years. It's really less time than that. It depends on the type of guy that you want. The older that they get, you know, the options aren't getting better. Let's say that. And they have to deal with the fact that that guy just might not be with one woman. Look at the Klay Thompson and the Mega Stallion situation. You want a high level guy, you're not the only woman that wants him. Nine times out of 10, you're going to be competing for this guy forever. And women don't even like the word competition because it implies that they have to continuously do something. Well, that man has to continuously do something because if you lose the muscles, or i.e. the attraction, which attraction covers a multitude of things, smell, the way you take care of your body, skin, um, your fitness, the way that you dress, right? How do you take care of your clothes, your car, things of that nature.
That's how you get Luigi. And they're shameless about it. Yeah, I'd fuck him. I don't care if I don't care if he's a killer. They want Richard fucking Ramirez at a teenage fan club for fuck crying out loud. All right, you got the Boston Marathon bomber guy still sitting in jail, right? They want to fuck that. They want conjugal visits with those guys. Oh, we're not going to study that. Let's study what women really want, how they need a guy who's a provider. It makes them laugh. That's one side of hypergamy, yes, which has been very thoroughly researched. Can we say maybe they want a guy with a chiseled jawline and separation as pecs or something? Can we no, no. How about ovulatory shift? Can we maybe go back and look at that a little bit more? No, because they don't want to find results that might be unflattering to female nature. What's flattering to female nature? The beta buck side of hypergamy. What's unflattering? Wanting to fuck Luigi.
And see, the thing is in the economy, even though women are the consumers, they're getting the money from men. And how do you introduce something like, what do you think that would do to society if all men collectively understood this information? They're going to look at women differently. They're not going to treat them the same, and they for sure wouldn't get married because when you meet, if you get to 30 and you meet some woman that's 30 years old or a little bit younger than you, chances are she's been with a few good men, right? More than 5 for sure, more than 10, and I'm being generous here. Some of these girls have very high body counts and they think that it's normal because it has been normalized thanks to feminism. But in the coming years, I would say 2030 and moving forward, they're feeling the effects of it now, but they don't understand it yet. Not fully, not collectively. The hive mind doesn't understand it collectively, the damage that was done by feminism, but they will understand. And thank God for the internet because they'll have a video library to see exactly what happened and why they should never ever choose feminism ever again.
That's unflattering. Like, why do women always want to fuck criminals? Forget about it. We'll move on. Then they don't want to do that. So what do? They've got to find some way to make hypergamy, at least in the sense that like the red pill describes it or details it or defines it. They have to make it ridiculous. So they have to blow it out of proportion. They have to straw man it. They have to make it some big deal, right? So I attempted to address a lot of those misconceptions in a post that I wrote. I'll put it up. Maybe Sam Bada can put it up there. It's called Hypergamy: The Misconceptions. I'm just going to throw a couple of these out here. Hypergamy is guys think that hypergamy is a straitjacket. This is the number one misconception that I think that a lot of red pill black pill doomer guys, MGTOW guys, maybe really think hypergamy is about. They think that it's unchanging. They think that that chick is always going to be one way her entire life. And as I was showing you, like Coco Butte last week, clearly that shit changes, and it changes pretty rapidly. So the chick who is demanding that she doesn't go on coffee dates and she doesn't need to go for walks because she's not a dog, and she wants to have, she doesn't want you to get her drunk. She wants you to take her to a nice sushi dinner and blah, 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 blah. 2 years later, oh, my eggs are drying up, right? The whole thing about hypergamy between those two women, Coco of 2022 and Coco of 2024, shit's changed, man. Hypergamy is not what it was for Coco in 2022, what it is today in 2024, or at least the way that she can act upon it, anyways.
Right. And I'll just add this. He's basically talking about that age range where they they shift from the guy that is physically attractive to the guy who will just do and has the resources that they need to go ahead and start that family. And to me, that's predatory because you don't really like that guy. You're just using him to accomplish your biological imperative, i.e., and the social one as well. I got the ring. I'm a wife. I got the baby. I'm a mother. I did what I was supposed to do.
So hypergamy is not a straitjacket, and that's the problem most guys get into is they think it's this static, monolithic, shibboleth. That's never go. There's your vocabulary word. That's this unchanging, horrible thing. Oh, all women are going to do this because they're always going to be looking for a bigger and better guy. Yeah, unless you're the bigger and better guy. Unless you're the guy who fucking knocks it out of the park every fucking time. You dick her down good. You have a good job. You make a good chunk of change. You don't owe her this. Maybe it's, I'm not saying what you owe her a better life. But if you are concerned with body count, you're concerned with hypergamy, you're concerned with, there's always going to be a guy who's going to come along and take her away from you, Rolo, then be the dude that takes away chicks from other dudes.
Boom. I.e. Future. Not Russell Wilson. You have to be, now you don't have to have a lot of baby mamas and all that. I'm not condoning that, right? However, and this is the point that they don't want to sell. And a lot of it is because these guys, if you look at a Jordan Peterson, these guys, they look nice in suits and everything like that, but they're not muscular. I'm pretty sure he ain't digging guts out like that. I could be wrong, but um, you have to be that guy. You gotta be jacked. You gotta have the money. And he said another thing that I agree with was you don't owe her a good life, i.e., when you get to where you want to be, you choose what you want to be, right? You can be the Jedi, you can be the Sith, and we know the Sith is the player, right? He's gonna do his thing. He's gonna slay, right? The Jedi, he's gonna be the good husband and, do the right thing, quote unquote, after he's went through all the trials to get his powers. And the powers are the money or the infinity stones, the money, the body, you know, and add whatever else you want. Cause those two things right there, the money will help you get everything else, right? You can get a personal trainer, you can pay for a skincare routine, you can get your teeth fixed, you can get better clothes, car, home, all that stuff comes with that one, the Power Stone. And or you can choose to be the Gray Jedi, right? Which is he he is a good guy, right? He doesn't necessarily follow the Jedi order, nor does he follow the way of the Sith, right? He uses their powers, right? Which would be what dark triad traits, but he's gonna be him unapologetically. And when there's a woman that wants to come along and get on his program that likes him more than he likes her, then he'll most likely give that woman start the family with that woman because she's less likely to leave because she sees you as the best that she can do. You're a superhero in her eyes. And that's the only way it's gonna work, in my opinion.
Be that guy. Like figure out how you can do that within the context of where you're at. I don't see why is this even fucking rocket science? But the problem is like that people think that hypergamy is a straitjacket. They think that it's always going to be one size fits all, and it's always going to be all consuming and all containing. And it's not, because the same chick that like rejected you in high school or the same chick that rejected you in college, suddenly you're a great catch when you're 32.
See, and I just said that. And then those are the relationships you definitely need to stay away from because it's predatory. She is looking to use you to accomplish things. She's not looking for love, right? She's most likely got debt. Life is really reality's starting to grip her now, right? She's not as attractive as she was when she was younger. The offers don't flow in as much as they used to. She doesn't get as much attention as she used to, right? She still might be very pretty, might be, beautiful even still, right? Not women in their 30s, they still look good. It's not about that. It's about they're about the speed. They're trying to speed run you. They're trying to hurry up and buy. So, and you need to stay away from that because you need to vet this person for a period of time because you're meeting the representative for at least the first 2 years. You're going to meet the representative, especially with them. They want to do it within 1 year. But I'm gonna leave it here, guys. This is a great video. Um, I encourage you to go watch it in its full entirety. There's still some time left, but this video is getting pretty long, and I don't want to really waste you guys' time like that. Um, if you like the video, subscribe if you're new, share it if you like to. Um, that's all I got for you guys. Until the next one, to the next episode. Peace.